Eric.
We're live. Hi, I'm Aaron Bryan from Table Knights Entertainment, and with me today are Giovanni and Douglas. Guys?
Hello.
Alright, so today
What up?
on Talk 20 to Me, we will be discussing the subject of neutrality, specifically chaotic neutrality, and why does everyone do it? Gio, opening statement.
Opening statement for me? I don't know, because I'm one of those people that are actually very much for chaotic neutrality, but that doesn't mean that every other alignment can't be done well. If anything, I feel that a lot of people specifically go out of the way to not pick lawful good, because they think that it means strictly adhering to one thing and basically becoming Judge Dredd. Like, I'm here to do the law and only the law. It's like,
Well, you said that you are for chaotic neutrality, then speak for it.
I'm for chaotic neutrality, because fuck you.
That actually is probably the best argument a chaotic neutral person could make, specifically for their alignment.
Like you can't get.
Because you can't really argue with that.
Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, a lot of people speak out against it, saying that chaotic neutrality is the worst player alignment to beat because they have nothing to do. It's basically the easy man's way out. But it's like, no, you could be chaotic neutral and still have goals. I mean, there's plenty of chaotic neutral people out there that basically have goals.
That is an interesting point. Now, Douglas, my friend, my confidant, my sexy Italian lover,
You are my friend and my
will you-
confidant.
go ahead and present your point.
All right, my first point. Go fuck yourself, Gio. That's it. I'm done. No, but
We're all getting real chaotic. We're getting really meta in this conversation.
yes, I believe that chaotic neutral should only be allowed for like a number of characters. After that, we should have the traditional listeners of complete goodness, of complete evilness. I feel like without that, you can't really have a game.
And I am of the mind that chaotic neutral serves its purposes and can be, played well. But if every single person plays chaotic neutral, that kind of mulls the game a little bit because the party has no moral compass, which every party doesn't need a moral compass, and depending on the type of game you're playing, of course, it's not necessary to have a moral compass. Sometimes it's not wanted. But a party that is so bereft of morality, they can just do whatever they want. Like, no... with no obstacles coming from the inside, Geo, stop. Is a little bit daunting, especially from a D.m.s perspective, because they can literally do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And you make contingencies for certain events, but there's just some things you don't expect.
Exactly. Like one minute they're about to fight the boss. Next thing you know, he's getting his ass fisted. Like that's not how you fight a boss.
Doug.
So
Doug?
I think Doug is going for a very awkwardly bad joke for every video we do.
Doug, you're at a 10. I need you at a 2. Okay.
See, my jokes are like Steve or Stan Lee cameos. You gotta find each one.
No, you don't need to find them. They're kind of very obviously there.
Yeah. Which is also like Douglas's jokes.
Oh, that's what you were doing.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna argue with that because I know it's true. I know my place.
So, for me, I notice that so many people go with chaotic neutral, mainly because they don't want any moral tie-downs. But as a player who's played a lot of... Actually, I've played every alignment now. And to be honest, I found the one that was most fun for me, character story-wise, was playing a lawful good fighter. Just a straight-up fighter, not even a paladin, and that's because while he didn't have the need to stay lawful good like a paladin does, I let the story play with temptation and vices, whereas most paladins who play lawful good, they just shrug it off like it's nothing, and they don't act like an actual person who would be tempted by these things. You know, they yes, paladins are paragons of their faith, but they are still human. Moving on, Gio, do you have anything to add to this?
Yeah, sorry, you got me mid-chew. But yeah, actually, that is something that I want to bring up. First off, just because you're playing lawful good doesn't mean you have to be a fucking paladin. Everyone thinks that if they're playing lawful good, they have to be a paladin. You could very much well be a lawful good thief. You could literally just have thief abilities, but not actually be a thief. Like,
yeah.
You could
like
be
you were trained as like a locksmith or something, and that would explain your thief abilities.
It doesn't even have to be a locksmith. It's literally just you're a very good dungeoneer. Because if you think of it, a thief is essentially just a very good dungeoneer. I'm there for the I'm there for the traps. I'm there for the locks. It doesn't mean I have to steal your shit, but I can if I want to. But the thing is that a lot of people think that being lawful good automatically means you have to go into this cop role of I'm this like unwavering machine that's like, no, I do not drink. No, I don't have sex with women and or men. I don't gamble. I don't do this. But you don't realize, I mean, you could still be lawful good and do all those things unless specifically your religion says you cannot have sex with women and you cannot drink and you cannot gamble, which the majority of them actually don't.
Yeah.
You could still do that. You could still be a paladin that loves to get drunk and fuck women, and then when the light comes out, just be like, okay, now I should probably do my job.
Exactly. On your downtime, you can be a human. Or a
Shout out to you, Malcolm. Shout out to you, Malcolm.
Is that Sinclair? Not Sinclair. Xavier. Right?
No. Malcolm. Fuck, I forgot his last name.
Oh, good job, Doug. All right. And you, Sir Douglas, to add on to the quote-unquote stigma of lawful good, what do you have to take away from that?
My best and pretty much like my main example is my character Ulfgafar.
Oh God, I love Ulfgafar. He's the perfect example of why lawful good can be amazing.
He's like the birth child of Moon Eye and Taya from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm gonna punch open this door and then talk about friendship.
Okay. For those of you who don't understand the references, Moon Eye is a character in the Grindor canon who is basically he's so trope dwarf that he goes back around to not being a trope and being awesome. And then Taya is from Yu-Gi-Oh, and if you haven't watched that, get off my fucking channel. Go.
No.
Watch Yu-Gi-Oh.
Please.
Get off the channel. Get off the channel. Watch Yu-Gi-Oh, then come back.
Exactly.
What they said. I'm not always at my best on the PR.
You don't even have to go that far in Yu-Gi-Oh. Just go episode 1 and you get.
Really? Yeah. Okay, we've gotten off topic again, as we always do.
Yes. So Ulfgafar. You see, the reason why I bring up Ulfgafar because what people don't understand is the morality system that you are given is a guideline. That is what it is.
Thank you.
Just because your character is chaotic evil doesn't mean he won't do anything that's like, shit, I'll obey the rules this time. Like, there's things that you can do that complement your character, but you still have to like keep on that path. Ulfgafar is that example because I have made him in such a way that he will have his moments. He is a good around paladin cleric who does very holy, very good things. But every once in a while he fucks up. Like he might break somebody's leg.
Break someone's leg.
Or he tortures people and breaks somebody's leg. He goes off on people. He might not look at a friend for stealing. Like
He drinks to excess.
Yeah.
See. Here's the thing. Most religions would have you do something in moderation. If we're going to use for instance here, in the Bible it doesn't say that you shouldn't ever drink. It just, don't drink to excess, which is getting blackout drunk, which Ulfgar has done.
Ulfgar does. He loves it.
But he's a dwarf too, which is really a paradox for them, I guess.
So, you, not to mention, I have his backstory in which, he fell. He fell from being a cleric. He fell.
The fall from grace.
Yeah, he fell from grace, raped, stole, did a whole bunch of things, and what his story arc is trying to get back that clerichood that he lost, and trying to, be a good person. Sadly, he gets sidetracked along the way, but he tries.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know Ulfgar raped people. I think of him a lot differently now.
Wait, he raped people?
In his backstory?
He just said that.
I didn't even know that.
Wow, Ulfgar.
Okay, what the fuck?
That's why in my campaign, which takes place in a paradox of 30 years in the future, Ulfgar in my campaign has children. They're bastards that nobody knows about, but he has children.
The Wolfspear clan.
He raises his raped children? I mean,
no, he doesn't raise them. Sadly, Ulfgar did not survive in my campaign.
Oh, he has them as in they exist, not as in he has them physically, as in he's raising them.
So they exist. Hell, one of the main characters in my campaign is a bastard who doesn't know he's a bastard. He just knows he doesn't look anything like his father.
I don't know how to feel about this. I'm very morally confused. My love for Ulfgar is there, but then he did these things.
No, but that's the beauty of it, because Ulfgar doesn't say that. He never tells anyone of his past, so you expect him to be a good guy, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to forget his past, so he can be a good person. So he can.
I've got new things that I'm going to put into the canon.
Yeah, that should have been part of the Bard part where we saw the loots that told their truth. Oh, he wasn't in there. Continue.
Oh yeah. Good point. All right. Spoiler warning. Don't pay attention to that.
Sorry.
All right. So, yeah, lawful good is amazing. Whereas and here's the reason that we bring up chaotic neutral today. I feel like most people who play it don't put effort into it, and that's the problem. They just do it so they don't have to make moral choices. Whereas Geo, who plays Vedrick, has played a chaotic neutral character who has been good and bad. He does a balancing act. Geo, please, give fantastic and wonderful examples.
Why? I'm glad you asked, Aaron. Let me tell you. No, okay. In terms of chaotic neutral, Vedrick is very much on the spectrum. I mean, he has straight up murdered a mayor, even though it was later found out that the mayor was actually not the most innocent of people, but we didn't know that. He didn't know that. He was just like, I got hired to murder someone. Yeah, like, I got hired to murder someone, I'm done gonna get murdered someone.
And then you murdered someone who was super bad.
Yeah, and then like complete flip the coin over there, and then the other day I'm like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna break into that house. Finds out that the house is owned by a very evil person. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna murder that evil person.
This world would be better without you.
Yeah. It's the exact same thing. I mean, there's some times where Vedrick, even though with a very deep sigh, gives up charity, but then there are other times where it's like, this is mine, and I will break all your toes if you want to take it from me. Thank you.
Which is very funny. When you see Vedrick, you never expect him to give to charity, but he's done it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Begrudgingly, yes, but he's done it.
See, and that's the kind of thing that I like. Although he plays a chaotic neutral character, you do see that inside that piece of shit of a fucking Bavarian, there's something in him that's like, okay, there's something wrong with this. While most people who try to do chaotic neutral are just like, I don't care. I don't have to make a decision. It's not like it's not like a standpoint where I have to choose between life or death. Screw everyone. Money.
For example, a good thing of that is that if you really want to think about it, you can think of chaotic neutral as a form of selfishness.
I'll be back.
Vedrick, okay, I guess we don't wait for him. But for example, towards the audience, Vedrick does not care much about the group that he's in. He'll let them do what they want. If anything piques his interest, then he'll stick his nose in it. But ultimately, he won't stick his neck out for anyone. If they ask him to scout, he will not scout. He's like, I'm not going to scout. Those are the people who get killed from the get-go. I'm not going to scout. But then there are times where if something piques his personal interest, he'll go out of his way, even if it is something good. Like, for example, he won't. I'll wait for Aaron to put on his headphones.
Hello.
Hello. But for example, Aaron won't scout. I mean, not Aaron. Vedrick won't scout for the group because he's like, I'm not gonna stick my neck out like that. That's gonna get me killed. But then there was this one situation where someone that he got close to in the group fell into a burning pit of fire, and he jumped in.
Oh my God, that was the best.
Like without even thinking about it, he jumped in and sacrificed one of his magical items to save that person.
That was so great. It was a good character moment for Vedrick, and it lets you see that while a chaotic neutral person may do a good act, that doesn't make them good. Yes, he saved somebody, but it was somebody he cared about, and that's the only reason he saved them. A chaotic evil person could do just the same thing. That doesn't make them good. That just means that they care about a specific individual. The next minute after they save that person, they could go traipsing down to the next village and rape all the children, which is terrible.
Whoa.
We do not condone that, but
No, we don't.
That was very intense. Why you guys need to,
trigger warning.
Oh, Douglas, it's too late. the triggers have already activated.
God damn. We have triggered the trigger warning, causing more triggers than we should have ever triggered.
If we could not make baby rape jokes, that would be great.
Well, it's not babies. There's a difference. Anyways.
Trigger!
But yeah, I mean, a person caring about another person doesn't make them good or evil. Just makes them compassionate. Anakin Skywalker cared about Padme, and look where he ended up.
Killing every child in the temple.
Kids
I thought you were about to say chickled.
Kids are really victim of this topic today.
Really, they are.
Wow, is this my father's lightsaber? Yes, it is. He killed almost 500 children with that thing.
Oh. Here you go. I don't want this. But yeah, it's
Damn it, Vader.
It's kind of weird just how lazy most of the people who play chaotic neutral are.
Well, you also have to understand that there's a lot of people that this is a warning to all DMs and players, but there are a lot of people who join D&D just to get the rush of immediate satisfaction. So that tends to be the trope they take up because, as you said earlier, they don't want to take a moral standing in anything. They don't want to think; they just want to win.
Which, by the way, winning in an RPG is not about killing monsters or gathering treasure. It is about having a good time. Which, if you get your jollies off like that, okay. I mean, I get it, and I'll support you in that. It's not my personal preference, but I get it.
For example, like, everyone here, or at least most people who have played the channel, I believe, who have played Elder Scrolls, Mass Effect, any RPG game, sure, you felt good about beating the game, but I will bet more than 9 out of 10 people will say that they enjoyed just playing the game more than beating it. And that's what makes a true RPG. The fact that you are enjoying this character you made, this universe, this lore, everything to, make you happy.
Indeed. Solemn words of wisdom, my friend.
I'm a massive abuser of that. A lot of the times I don't finish video games because I don't want them to end. Like I still haven't finished Pokemon X and Y, even though the game's been out for like 2-3 years now.
How the fuck have you not finished it?
I don't want it to end.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. There are games I haven't finished. I haven't finished Dead Space 1. That's because I'm a pussy.
You know what, Douglas? The first time I picked up Dead Space 1, I was like 12, I think. I played for about 10 minutes, and I didn't pick up the game till 3 years later.
Wait, 12? I don't think Dead Space 1 is that old. It's a PS3 game.
No, it's not. It shouldn't be that old.
Oh, well then whenever it first came out.
I think PS3 came out when we started high school.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't PS3 first. I'm pretty sure it was Xbox 360 first.
Xbox 360 and PS3 practically came out near the same time.
No, I know, but I think the game released for Xbox 360 first. Anyways, we're getting off topic again.
This
Terrible.
is a drinking game. Take a swig every time we take off topic.
Every one of our viewers dies, which is 3.
No. No.
All right.
So, another thing I'd like to point out, because we got time. I think like people should try different styles.
Oh yeah.
Because you should be able to not just be like, I want to play this one because it's the one I can most relate to. No, you have to, go out of your comfort zone too. I've recently just started playing an evil character. It's very difficult for me because I'm a very good-natured person. So anytime like the DM gives me an opportunity to kill or murder someone, I'm just like, can I do it softly?
Speaking
an evil I'm sorry, I'm just thinking like of an evil bard, and it's just like killing me softly with his song.
Geo, I really wish I had recorded the thing that I'm going to talk about now, because my character, the one chaotic evil character that I've played, and this is as a player, not as a DM, because I've done a lot of chaotic characters as a DM. Was a bard.
Ah, nice.
And she sung to her victims as she was brutally murdering them.
Oh, that's
so she was a siren.
Yes, she was a siren. Yes, that's the perfect way to put it. And to be honest, it was too much fun. So I haven't played that character again, 'cause it feels weird.
Yeah.
Some deep dark part of me.
I honestly feel that people have the most fun when they actually play characters that are very not attuned to their own personality. Like, when I was playing my magic user that I was trying to turn into a necromancer, campaign, like, I pulled out some crazy shit.
You killed your familiar!
Okay. We should do a video about this, but let me just bring this up to the audience. This is what you call in-game character devotion, okay? Because there's a lot of people that play the game to basically max out their character and make out how strong they are.
Fucking munchkins, I hate them.
I know a lot of people who are like, oh, try to go for the strongest companion or strongest familiar. It's about winning. It's like, no. For example, me, I had a magic user, which if anyone who plays D&D knows, familiars actually increase the strength of a magic user through various
immensely.
I had a magic user that was promised by a lich that he would train him to be a necromancer, and he's like, the only way that I train you, though, is if you entertain me. And he's like, okay, how about this? I try to go and kill my own familiar, which my familiar was one of the strongest familiars you could possibly get.
It was a closet, wasn't it?
It was a closet.
And then the lich was all...
He was like, neat, walked away.
And the thing was, the closet is connected to him, like, telepathically, so she knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
And she was like...
But for those who aren't understanding what's the big deal about me killing my closet, I lost 4 levels from that. I
Four
went
levels.
I went from level 5 to level 1, and let me tell you, in D&D it takes a long time. At level 5, you're already like what 1/8 or 1/4 through your total max, because level 20 is the cap.
Mm-hmm.
And so I basically cut everything I had and started from square one. I was no longer able to do all these amazing spells I had, and let me tell you, with the closet, you got a lot of good things. For example, I regenerated health every turn. And
Gio, I don't think I've told you how much I love that moment. Like that was the most balls deep shit I've ever seen.
But yeah, and that's where you have to understand that a character is a whole sentient being, and you have to play the way your character would play, and not how you would play in real life. And my character, being chaotic evil, would basically do anything to gain power, even if
Because
it meant harming himself.
yeah, because he believed that the necromancer was the epitome of what power was.
Yeah, he had an obsession. He equivalated necromancy with immortality with eternal power, essentially. Not to mention liches are just like badass to begin with.
They are. I think I would categorize liches as the dungeon or no magic user porn. Where are we on time?
We
we got
still
4
have 4 minutes. Oh, wow, I completely forgot.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that being said, I think that we covered the topic fairly well. And rather quickly, actually.
Yeah, it feels like time went by very fast this time around.
It's weird. All right.
People are just getting used to it.
All right. Well, guys, go ahead and say your goodbyes. Douglas, you first.
All right.
Oh.
Well, my beautiful people, remember that your character is not just a being, another part of you, but also a completely different person. So you have to treat them as such. Remember that whatever you do might not be what they do. If they like to rape and murder millions of towns, that is something your character does. Just because you make your character do it doesn't mean you want to rape and pillage people. That's not okay by any standards, but if that's what your character's into, that's fine. The whole point of this conversation is so you realize you don't have to just be chaotic neutral. You can do anything. Just make sure you follow the guidelines and, have fun with it.
Because that's what they're there for. They're there to just guide, not dictate.
Exactly. And as long as you are having a good character arc and making sure your character understands that he is one person that could either wants to be greater, better, or richer. The way you go about it is how you choose the alignment and how you want to go with it.
All right. And Gio, your goodbyes, my meditating friend.
It's hard to say. Chaotic neutral's fun, but by all means, don't take as a stance as being completely stagnant. And just because you're neutral, that doesn't mean or equivalent to being a dick. Because I know a lot of people who play chaotic neutral because they just want to sit there and deny everything. Come save us. Nah, man, chaotic neutral. Come help this child. Nah, man, chaotic neutral. Do you mind donating to charity? Nah, man, chaotic neutral. Just because you're chaotic neutral, that doesn't mean it's a get out of free jail card for doing stuff that you don't want to do. And sometimes it's even more fun to play something that you don't want to do. Like, everyone gets a good laugh when the prudent guy out of the entire group has to give up like a single silver coin to a beggar on the street because it's like, the horror. I had to give up like one coin out of the billions of dollars I have stashed away that no one knows about.
That I've taken from you.
Or a very holy paladin somehow deciding to massacre everything.
Yeah, so chaotic neutral doesn't mean what a lot of people think it means. Chaotic neutral just means that you're neutral. And neutral means you could do anything, but I suggest trying to do everything.
That's a good point. Well, I'm Aaron Justin Bryan from Table Knights Entertainment. With me tonight was Giovanni Perez. Yes?
Our next episode.
I'm going to.
Oh, okay.
Damn it, Gio. And Douglas Conrado as well. Next week's episode, we will discuss dungeon design. I'm Aaron Justin Bryan from Table Knights Entertainment. Because I was interrupted, I have to do it again. Roll on.